Hey gamers, what's up? Muzz here from L1 Games once again, coming at you with a video. Today I'm going to answer a question from a guy called CD Ages here on YouTube. It was an interesting question. I thought it deserved an answer. But before we get into that, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell icon for future updates. Like this video if you like it. And you can follow me on Twitter at L1 Games. So let's jump right into it. CD Ages left a couple of interesting comments with questions included, and I thought I would answer them. The first question was, do you believe it can be lucrative or even possible in today's gaming and retail climate to open brick and mortar video game stores, much in the same manner as you once did to start your retail business? To answer that, yeah, I definitely think it's possible. You just have to know who you're selling to. You have to kind of know your market and understand where you are. I mean, location is key in that. I'm in a mall, for example. So in a mall, I don't just sell video games. I sell a lot of trinkets and accessories and miscellaneous items that you may not see at other video game stores because I get a lot of walk-by traffic. And that's part of catering to your audience, to your clientele, and it's something you have to do, and it's different depending on where your location is. In some areas you may find that import games sell better than anything else, whereas here at the mall I don't sell a lot of import games, so they kind of sit more. Whereas at my buddy Darren's store, Warp Zone, he sells tons of imports and it works for him, it doesn't work for me. Also, I sell tons of those accessories, as I said earlier, and that's something I think because I get a lot of walk-by traffic, people who just happen to be in the mall and see my store and just wander in. Then they see a wallet, a keychain, you know, whatever, and they like it, they want it, they feel nostalgic about it maybe, and then they buy it. It's kind of the Spencer's or Hot Topic model, but kind of smashed into my store. Now this is stuff I didn't carry when I had a strip center store, and I don't think it would have sold at all when I was, say, in Hilliard trying to get my business off the ground there. So to answer the question of whether it can be done, yeah, absolutely I think it can, as long as you're in the right location with the right items for the right audience at the right time. And that may feel like a huge gamble, but opening up a business always is. And CD Age's second question was, I wonder if such a plan would fly in today's climate, especially with regards to building stock from scratch. What with how aggressive the retro gaming market has gotten to compared to 10 years ago? Actually, I think because the market has gotten so aggressive these days, it's even more possible. I think it was harder when I did it, and I think it's easier today. You have so many resources now that you didn't have access to before. There wasn't as much on the internet. I mean, you had eBay, but even eBay was pretty antiquated by today's standards. And now you kind of have a global price scale for everything you buy and sell. So the challenge isn't what am I going to sell this for, or what am I going to buy this for. You pretty much already know if something's averaging $20 on eBay, then you can't price it over $20 because anyone can come into your store, look at it, then jump online right on their phone, it's right in their pocket, and they can price check you. So the best thing to do is to stay current with those online averages, and people will then think you're fair, and they like shopping with people who are fair. This also comes in handy when you're buying stuff. People who come into a store like mine often understand that they're not going to get the full value out of their game, that as a business owner I have to make a profit on anything I buy. Though there are some exceptions to that rule. Some people get pretty upset that if something's selling for $50 online that they're not getting $50 out of it. But those people are few and far between. The benefit, of course, to bringing something to a store like mine is that you can get instant cash. People need sometimes instant gratification. They can sell it on eBay, but if they need money in their pocket right now, this is where they're going to come, because waiting on eBay a week for the auction to end or whatever, or maybe someone will never buy it if they post it on eBay, they didn't have the right price or whatever, or maybe there's just too much of that item listed, so they can't get money instantaneously. That instant gratification is gone. They can't have it. So that item that they need to get right away, or that bill that they need to pay right away, doesn't get paid for. So stores like mine are good for that. And because of that, there will always be a place for that business model, for people to come to, for people to shop at, and for people to get what they need. So with access to basically a global market that tells you what you can price everything at and what's competitive, it makes it a lot easier to do what I do. And the competitiveness is because collecting and gaming in general has grown a lot, even over the last 10 years, but especially over the last 20 since I started. It's so easy to sell video games now that I don't think it's a problem to actually do it. But there are those factors that I mentioned earlier in the video. Location is key. what you're selling is key, who you're selling to is key, and you have to have all that in your mind. You have to be aware of it so you understand what your market is. Because if you don't understand your market, you'll never succeed in business. And to build a business up can be done just like I did it. Some people say, oh, it was easy the way you did it. It wasn't easy. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of effort. You can go back to that video, how I built my initial inventory, and you can see that I put a lot of time and effort into it. But to answer the question of whether that can be done again, yeah, absolutely. There are still flea markets and stuff you can go to. You can also do trade shows, set up booths at cons. There's all kinds of stuff. There's tons of different ways that you can get yourself out there. And when you're at those cons and stuff, you can hand out flyers and business cards, and you can get the word out about your business even if you don't have a brick and mortar store, or if you're building up the inventory to start a brick and mortar store. And I don't know, say this growing bubble of video game collecting, I don't see it bursting anytime soon. People seem to love it. There's a lot of nostalgia, and there's a lot of people who want to get into the history of gaming and collecting. So I think this is a great time to do what I did. I think maybe it's even a better time to do what I did. So if that's your dream, if that's your aspiration, I say go for it. The worst case scenario is that it's not going to work out, but if you're just doing a flea market, or if you're just doing shows or something, that's not going to kill you, is it? It's not going to be a big deal. You'll still have something to fall back on, which is what I did for 5 years before I opened up my first full-time store. And that's really all I've got on those questions. So if you have a question, by all means, please leave it in the comments below. I'd be glad to answer you either in the comments, or maybe I'll do a video and dedicate it to your question like I just did for CD Ages here. But I do have to get to work now, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. You have made this channel successful, and that's really awesome. Like I said before, please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon for future updates. Click like on this video and follow me on Twitter at L1Games. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.